Northrop Grumman runs YFQ-48A fighter drone engine for first time. Northrop Grumman announced Friday that its YFQ-48A Talon Blue autonomous combat aircraft completed its first engine run, a key developmental milestone achieved in collaboration with Pratt and Whitney and the U.S. Air Force. The announcement was brief, but pointed. YFQ-48A Talon Blue started its engine for the first time today, a significant advancement achieved with Pratt and Whitney and the United States Air Force, the company stated. Our progress is a sign of how quickly next-gen capability can move from development toward flight, and why speed increasingly matters in staying ahead of emerging threats. No additional technical details, timeline specifics, or test location were disclosed alongside the announcement. A first engine run is a critical milestone in any aircraft development program. It represents the moment a platform transitions from an integrated airframe into a functioning propulsion system, the point at which engineers can begin validating that the engine, fuel systems, electronics, and airframe interface work as designed under real operating conditions. Before a prototype can fly, it must first demonstrate that its power plant can be safely started, run, and controlled on the ground. Friday's test places the Talon Blue squarely on that path. The YFQ-48A is Northrop Grumman's entrant in the U.S. Air Force's Collaborative Combat Aircraft Program, an initiative aimed at developing autonomous, uncrewed aircraft capable of flying alongside and in support of crewed fighter jets. The CCA program is one of the Air Force's highest priority modernization efforts, designed to expand combat capacity and tactical flexibility by pairing human pilots with AI-enabled wingmen that can perform a range of missions from intelligence gathering and electronic warfare to serving as forward strike assets without putting additional aircrew at risk. Pratt and Whitney's involvement as the propulsion partner underlines the scale of the industrial effort behind Talon Blue. Engine integration is among the most demanding engineering challenges in any advanced aircraft program, and the successful completion of a first engine run with a major propulsion house on board signals that the collaboration between the two firms and the Air Force has reached a substantive stage of hardware maturity. The Collaborative Combat Aircraft competition has drawn entries from multiple defense primes, with the Air Force pursuing a strategy of developing and fielding affordable, attritable autonomous platforms at meaningful scale. The underlying logic is straightforward. Crewed fifth- and sixth-generation fighters are extraordinarily expensive and take years to produce in quantity, while autonomous wingmen can potentially be built faster, fielded in larger numbers, and employed in higher-risk mission profiles without the constraints that come with putting pilots in harm's way. Northrop Grumman's emphasis on speed in its Friday statement is deliberate. The defense industry and the Air Force alike have repeatedly stressed the need to accelerate development timelines for next-generation systems, moving away from the decade-plus acquisition cycles that have historically characterized major programs. The CCA effort has been specifically structured to drive faster fielding, and the first engine run of the Talon Blue, coming relatively early in the program's public profile, is framed by the company as evidence that the approach is working. The YFQ designation itself carries significance. The Y prefix indicates a prototype aircraft, while FQ denotes an uncrewed fighter category platform, a designation the Air Force introduced specifically for the CCA program, signaling that these aircraft are intended to operate in the same tactical space as manned fighters rather than being categorized alongside conventional surveillance or strike drones. The Air Force has not publicly disclosed a timeline for the YFQ-48 as first flight, and Northrop Grumman's Friday statement did not offer one. What the announcement does confirm is that the Talon Blue program has crossed a meaningful threshold, and that the partnership among Northrop, Pratt and Whitney and the Air Force has produced a physically complete, engine-equipped prototype ready to continue ground testing. As the CCA competition progresses, the pace at which competing designs move through key milestones will factor into the Air Force's assessment of industrial capability and program risk. Friday's engine run puts the Talon Blue on the board.